Well, greetings to you. As many of my subscribers will know, I've been a military historian or student of military history for nearly 60 years, believe it or not now, and my book collection is not inconsiderable, and I've read every one of them. But my expertise, if I have any expertise, such as it is largely restricted to the Edwardian era and the run-up to the Great War, which I've been published and I've lectured on many occasions to various universities. So that's really my sort of pedigree, but I wasn't published sort of professionally as well until about 1986, would you believe, on a completely different military topic. 1986 in the Army Review, which was is quite a prestigious publication. Now I want to talk to you something about this never-ending war situation, which we seem to have, never-ending wars at the moment, and maybe throw some light on it a little bit, because we're not getting told the truth, of course, in the mainstream media, but anybody who follows me knows that already. You don't need me to tell you. But I just sort of outline it a little bit for new subscribers, if I may. What we have is an interesting situation at the moment where we are no longer controlled, indeed if we ever were, by our elected politicians. It's quite clear that Trump got elected on an anti-war ticket. He was cheered to the rafters when he made speeches on the campaign trail about that. He was fed up with expensive forever wars and unnecessary death. And he made that quite clear until he got elected. We've had this phenomenon, of course, in our own country when we went along poodle-like with the idea that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. I couldn't believe that they would try all this again. I didn't believe that we could conceivably fall for weapons of mass destruction again. And now, of course, everybody's saying, oh, the Iran is developing nuclear weapons, so on and so forth. And Tulsi Gabbard, who actually poo-pooed this, she said this is absolute nonsense just a few weeks ago, has now changed her mind after pressure from Trump, which is a great shame, really, because I thought she was a woman of some integrity. It appears not. Money always tells. Now, what is the situation really here? Who actually runs these things? And let me tell you, I used to go to Washington quite a lot. I served as a fellow delegate on the Royal College of Defence Studies. I've soldiered with Americans in the British Army on the Rhine. And I have spent some time in Washington talking to think tanks, so on and so forth. So I'm sort of reasonably well informed about how these things work, although of course I'm not in the loop as to actually what's happening in the very inside of these matters. But what you've got to understand is that it's not our elected politicians, it's the deep state, the military-industrial complex, and certain aspects of international banking. Now, there is a deadly trio here of the CIA, Mossad, and MI6, who constantly, without any parliamentary or Senate approval, go about their business. They're either ramping up the possible war against the Russian Federation, and it's been Iran, and now it's Iran, and there's a fully fledged shooting war with Iran, which the Americans have just started. Mossad and Israel, they run the United States. They run the foreign policy of the United States, and that's just a fact of life. That's just how it is, and it's been like that way now for really quite some time. You don't need the brains of an archbishop to see that. I'm just surprised they've gone back to the boring old weapons of mass destruction story, which I don't think anybody really believes, unless they want to believe it, and people very often believe what they want to believe. So that is the tripartite game that creates these wars. Now, in whose benefit will they ultimately be? Well, they'll be in favour of international banking, and it will be in favour of the industrial military complex. And of course, as the United States is self-dependent in oil and gas, they can increase prices. Doesn't affect them. They won't be affected. And of course, if the Straits of Hormuz are closed, and if you get your map out and have a look and see how easy that is to do, it's only about 30 miles across. It's very easy to do, and that'll make natural gas and oil probably double in price in the West, if not more, because much of it comes from there. So be assured that war isn't in your interests. It never has been in your interest. War is a very bad thing. It just leads to lots and lots of dead men, women and children, and vast expense, and yet more debt. So I just thought I'd share those observations with you, although frankly I don't really think I needed to, because it's obvious to anybody who wants to know. Obviously not our newspaper editorials. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.